So this says it is good up to 500 C. So this is my 1500 watt, turn that around here. It's my 1500 watt heat gun. I'm going to put it on high and see how long it takes to make this thing bubble, or if it does actually. Let's just check out how it responds. So that's nice and hot. I'll get something here in a minute. That is not causing any problems right now, and I don't suppose you'd have direct heat on there for too long, so that looks okay. Let's see if we can get something a little hotter here. I got my hot air station here, and this third channel is at 500 C. So when I pick this up, let's I think the air flows all the way up on this. So that's as hot as this thing gets. Right. It's nice and warm. And yeah, looks like we can blow hot air on this. Again, I wouldn't probably leave it in one space indefinitely. It's going to start to bubble at some point, but that seems to work pretty well. All right, let's try the iron. So I'm going to set this as hot as it will go. And let's go 450. All right, so that's maxed out on the iron. You can hear it just beeps. That tells you it's up to temperature. I'm going to have to turn on my fume extractor so I'm not breathing this stuff, so it might be a little bit noisy. Just so you can see, this stuff is definitely melting. Whew, and I'm missing the fume extractor altogether. See, okay, you can still see that, right? All right, so that is melting solder, no problem. Put it directly on the mat. I've actually even splattered some solder there. I'll show you in just a second. I'll bring the camera closer. But that does not seem to be a problem. So this, I feel pretty safe about soldering on top of that. In case you're curious, I'm going to move the camera here so you can get a look at that. Let's kind of move this around a bit. Where is this from the ground? Alright, so I am all wound up around this deal here. Alright, so there you go. These are fragments of solder that fell off the iron. And as you can see on the mat, it'll need to be cleaned up a bit, but nothing actually melted. So I don't think that that would be a problem if you decide to expose it to some very high temperatures. More phone repair tools. This is a Silicone Mat. Came from an Amazon seller. These are supplied at no charge so that I can review them. Of course, I'm going to tell you what I think of the product regardless, but I do have to disclose that, supposedly. Anyways, this thing is got a huge package. Just to kind of put it into perspective, it's barely going to fit on the camera here. Let me grab my 6 Plus, and you can kind of get an idea of how big this thing is. This has got a huge cardboard thing that it comes in. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and we'll see what it looks like on the inside. For some reason, I didn't expect it. It really is that size. So this is a pretty decent, it's, let's see, what are the dimensions? 350 by 250. I suppose that's in millimeters. 35 by 25 centimeters, right? Let's go ahead and there's not a whole lot to say about this one, obviously. It is just a silicone mat that is designed for you to be able to organize your screws. As you take the phone apart, you can kind of put the small parts here, organize your screws. These are all numbered over here. So if you want to write anything down or take notes or, you know, keep track of the order, you can get 116 different screws out of here and line them all up, you know, left to right, top to bottom. Now, if you're not used to doing things that way, there are probably some adjustments you can make in order to make that easier. So yeah, this is 350 by 250 millimeters. Down here on the bottom, we have a measuring imprint, or raised lettering actually. So if you need to measure something, you can do that. Looks like in centimeters. And outside of that, these little impressions here are designed to put screws inside of. So whatever you may be working with, if you want to set stuff inside here, and obviously with phones, the screws will be slightly smaller, but even if you have a larger project, and these are computer screws, you can kind of organize them this way. So that is what this is all about. We've got some more impressions here on the top and the sides. Other than that, there is a magnetic piece it shows over here. So let's stick something to that. And see, yeah, and that actually is magnetic. So if there's something that you want to hold in place, that's where you want to do it. You can have, just a small number of parts, obviously, to stick down to that little piece on the mat. So let's take a look at the back real quick, because I thought I saw something printed here. I don't know what that says. And it looks like we've got 2 more magnets right up here. So you can actually see where they are on the back of the mat. So 1, 2, 3 places to put anything that you want magnetized or to stick down to the mat right there. And then of course, as we're taking the phone apart, we'll set it over here and just kind of arrange things as we go. If you've watched my last few video tutorials, you'll probably have already noticed that I do really use this mat. In fact, I've pretty much stopped using my magnetic mats anymore, in part because this keeps my desk from getting damaged or dirty or messed up, and it works really well for organizing screws. So I think long term, this is something that anyone who is serious about organizing phone parts should definitely at least consider. If you found the video helpful, like it, share it, check out my channel for more tutorials and product reviews, and most of all, remember to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to leave your feedback in the comments section, and thanks for watching.